I've got my tea and I want to talk about a mindset that's making us feel bad about ourselves. Many of us think that we're not spending enough time practicing, but actually the way we're practicing is holding us back. When I started learning to play the harp as an adult, I progressed very quickly. Now, I did have a very strong musical background and I was very motivated, basically obsessed with practicing. But also, I knew how to practice effectively because I had years and years of practicing other instruments, and so my practice was really efficient and very effective. I've also seen this in our harp community, that there's a big difference in the students who progress really quickly and the students who kind of get a bit frustrated and don't see a lot of progress. They're practicing differently. So even if you only have 10 minutes a day to practice, you can make real progress if you avoid these practice habits. The first thing is practicing hands separately until each hand is fluent for the whole piece. This is a problem because we don't need to be able to play the whole piece fluently with that hand. You're actually practicing something completely different. What you need to be able to do is check on a small section of the piece what one hand is doing, what the other hand is doing, and then put them together very soon so that you can see how they interact and practice with them together. The second thing that doesn't work is practicing too fast. Many of us don't realize how slowly we need to practice to actually get the result we want. Literally, I'm talking about note by note, seeing how the hands fit together. I still do that when I'm practicing. The third thing is playing through your piece from beginning to end and expecting it to improve. Now, this just doesn't happen. If we spend our time playing the whole piece, we're just not going to be able to see real progress. We need to instead focus on a very small part of the piece, put a lot of repetition into it over and over and over, and then in a small amount of time you can see amazing progress in a small part of your piece. This is also called chunking. Number 4 is not analyzing your piece before you learn the notes. You need to understand the key signature, the time signature, the rhythm, the musical directions. Otherwise, you could be practicing your piece really well, but you might actually be practicing it wrong, maybe with the wrong levers or the wrong rhythm or something, and then you get amazing results in your fluency, but it's still not going to sound right. If you have a musical background, you can do this for yourself by looking at the sheet music, but I strongly believe you don't need a musical background to learn to play the harp. So that's why in my video courses, I analyze the piece for you and help you understand and apply that throughout the piece. And I help you practice the piece effectively so that you can avoid all of these mistakes and actually get amazing results and learn to play your piece easily and quickly. If you've never tried learning a song from one of my video courses, you can get your first course free and learn a song of your choice, so click the link down below. The fifth practice habit that doesn't work is expecting your mistakes to naturally improve over time. If we have a particular part of the piece where we always trip up, it's always going to trip us up unless we focus on it. So that becomes a practice spot that we spend extra time and attention on. We chunk that part, we practice it first during our practice sessions, and then we will see results. Number 6 is never practicing placing. Playing the harp is not just about plucking the notes, but it's actually a lot about how we prepare our hand, placing our fingers on the strings in advance. And that's the thing that we need to spend a lot of time practicing because it doesn't just happen naturally. The more time we spend practicing placing, the more natural it's going to be to just be able to pluck the notes when we need to. I just wanted to say, if you're realizing that you're doing a lot of these things during your practice, please don't beat yourself up about it. It's okay. Now that you've realized these things, you can start to change it, and it's never too late. Number 7 is always practicing the notes in the order that they're played. Now, we just talked about how important it is to practice placing, and we can really solidify that by playing all the notes together in a block chord, everything that's under a bracket. You can play together, and that really solidifies your placing and makes sure that you're not just placing each finger as the notes come. Number 8 is not using a metronome or a practice video to make sure that you're not slowing down in the hard parts and speeding up in the fast parts. Now, I know many of us don't like practicing with the metronome. I've done it when I need to, but most of the time I avoid it. And that's why in my video courses, I have the practice videos, the slow ones where I'm counting, so that you just feel like you're playing along with me and I'm counting for you instead of the incessant ticking of a metronome. Number 9 is never getting feedback on your practice sessions. Now, you can do this for yourself by filming yourself just on your phone camera, taking a step back and watching yourself playing this piece. And then you can see things that you might have been surprised. You didn't realize you were doing this, but you can actually fix things about your playing just from your own feedback. Now, click here to choose your free video course so I can guide you through practicing a song of your choice.